Welcome to the Red Half of Sheffield preview podcast. We are in the thick of it now, and the midweek fixtures come thick and fast. The next opponent up on the slate and the fixture list is Middlesbrough, a trip up to the north of England, the northeast. And I am joined by John today from the 12th Man Boro podcast. John, how are you doing? Welcome in.
Yeah, thank you. I'm doing well. I turned to drink after yesterday's game, so I'm nursing a bit of a hangover, but I can handle that. I've done that. I've done that for many seasons.
Yeah, I know. It's almost a tradition. I mean, I've done that several times for Sheffield United as well. So let's get into it. What the hell happened yesterday? 2-0 defeat at home to Bristol City. That was a shock.
Yeah,
Didn't see that coming.
no, very much a case of deja vu with Middlesbrough. We've failed to reach any level of consistency this season, and it's difficult to predict what Middlesbrough team you're going to see from one week to the next, from one game to the next. We look so comfortable in possession, and we are creating some chances, but we're failing to put gilt-edged chances away, and it's cost us because we make silly errors at the back, and every time a team has a shot, it seems as though they have a shot on target, it ends in a goal. So, yeah, mightily frustrating yesterday. So I'm hoping, the manager will have had a few words to say to them, and it gets put right for Wednesday's game.
Now, who do you place the blame? I know this isn't right to do, but there's always an air of blame in a defeat. Who does it come down to Carrick's tactics, or does it solely rest on the shoulders of the players?
Well, my opinion is that it's down to individuals. A lot of fans I'm reading on message boards, social media, are saying that we're too predictable, that teams have sussed us out, and in a way I can see the point, but we're still dominating games, and we're still creating really good goal scoring opportunities, but it's those individuals that are missing it, and it's not down to one person. Yesterday we had 3 great chances. And they should have resulted in goals for Lat Ealath was guilty of one, Finn Azaz was guilty of another one, and then Ben Doak, all guilty of missing great chances. Plus, at the back, we're trying to play out from the back, and unfortunately, it comes unstuck because teams are. A lot of teams now try the tactic of playing out from the back, so the opposition press, and our keeper's given the ball to our players when there's an opposition player too close, so he doesn't get a great deal of time and opportunity to deal with it, and we're getting caught. Maybe it's the defender who's accepting the ball, or whether it's the keeper who's making the wrong choice. But like I say, that's nothing the manager can do about that. It's down to the players on the pitch who are making those errors. But at the end of the day, it's the manager who carries the can. He's solely responsible.
That's true. I like your blatant honesty about yesterday's result. I mean, it does boil down to the manager. I mean, I can say the same thing for our hammering. I mean, we should have lost probably 4-5-0 to Leeds Friday night. I mean, Wilder I don't like how he plays. He switched our formation up going into the Leeds game. Instead of going with what worked against, yes, I'll say lesser opponents to start the season. That's why I think we're a bit overrated. But yeah, he got the system all wrong, the players all wrong on Friday, and Leeds went and beat your ass like they should have. But it's so small margins, and I think I say that, but then I'm going to be hypocritical and say the margins are a bit you have a little bit more room. They shrink when you play teams like Borough, teams like Leeds and Burnley and Sunderland, teams like that. But when you play I guess most of these teams that we've played to start the season, they're just average teams, and I think the quality in the championship is down over this season compared to when Sheffield United and Borough were in such a tight, promotion race a couple of seasons. That division was top to bottom was 10 times better than this division. I think the quality's just dropped a lot. There's a lot of top heavy teams, and then there's a lot of just average to bad teams. But in our sense, it's like you got to get the managers when they come up in these big games, and that's what I'm going to key in on this midweek fixture. You're just off the back of 3-4 days rest, which to me doesn't really make sense because it's unfair for Borough playing Saturday, United playing Friday night. That doesn't make any sense to give us another day of rest. That doesn't make any sense for us. In the league, I don't know why you would do that if you have I don't know. It's a head scratcher, but you have to be on top of your game for this. This is a big game. You can't afford, because if Sheffield United go and lose this game midweek, which I think they will get soundly beat again, then the doubt, the critics, everything starts to creep into your head. So to midweek, how do you think this one goes? Give me your thoughts. 5-6-0.
I wish that I wish that I could predict a scoreline like that. But as I said earlier, I just don't know what we're going to get from Middlesbrough from one game to the next. I mean, we've had some great performances this season. You know, we beat Leeds 3-0 at their place, albeit in the Carabao Cup, but it was a absolutely top performance from start to finish. We beat West Brom at their place a couple of weeks ago. We played well at home. We beat Stoke very well, and then we put in sort of what I would call abject displays. You know, I can't put my finger on what the problem is, because you look at stats. If you're a stat man, I'm not particularly a stat, but if you look at stats, we keep the ball a hell of a lot. We have lots of shots at goal. Our XG is one of the best in the division, but it counts for nothing if you don't win the league on stats. You don't get promotion on stats. You've got to put the ball in the net, and we're not scoring enough goals. We're struggling. Our top scorer last year, Lattialaf, was tipped for a move to Ipswich right at the end of the window. I don't know whether that's unsettled him or whether his confidence is low, but he's only scored one this season, and that was from the penalty spot. So predict Wednesday. I tell you what, I'll predict a win for us because I'm ever the optimistic, but I don't know with any confidence or with any certainty what I'm going to get out of Middlesbrough.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think you guys win too. I think it's if we don't score by the 60th minute, we're not going to score because we'll put the kids on and they'll look clueless and not. They're not adapted to this level. This is. I mean, they're still early in their career. The more games they play, they're going to improve and get better at this level. But it's just still so early in the season. I think, man, this has a feeling of like a boring 0-0. But at the end of the day, I think Borough win 1-0. I think you get a goal early, and that's it. We can't do anything. Kiefer Moore, he's worthless. O'Hare, he's, in my opinion, overrated. It's what Gus Hamer can do. Him and Arblaster in the midfield, if they can work some magic. I mean, Saki might get the start because it looked like he should have started, but we just don't concede that many. And I mean, yeah, Leeds put 2 past us, and we've only conceded 5 goals this season. I just don't think this is a very good team. Everybody just keeps saying, "Oh, they're going to be promotion, promotion, promotion." I just don't see it, if I'm honest. Before
Well,
we
we've
get
set
out
the
of
scene well. We've set the scene well for Wednesday. You don't concede. We don't score very often. So yeah, you're right. I mean, your 0-0
0-0.
forecast could be bang on.
Yeah, absolute 0-0, boring, like watching paint dry. You'll probably be going to the game, so I hope you don't fall asleep in the stadium if it gets too boring. But before we get out of here, John, I ask every opponent that I have on. You spoke to it earlier. You're feeling you're a little hungover from the defeat yesterday. What is your go-to match day beverage? What are you going? It doesn't have to be alcohol. It can be alcohol. What do you usually go to?
Um, uh, uh, I'm a beer drinker.
Hmm.
Which is like, and I don't know whether you have bitter in the States or whatever. I'm not
Hmm.
sure, but yeah, I tend to go for beer, and then depending on how the results go, if we win, I go for more beers, and if we lose, I go for more beers because you just have to try and forget what you've just witnessed. So yeah, that's it really. If it wasn't for football, I'd probably be teetotal and weigh a lot less and be far healthier. But sadly, football and alcohol are intrinsically mixed, aren't they?
Exactly. Wouldn't we all? But I like the honesty because I'm in the same exact boat as you. Beer and more beer, regardless of win or loss. Win or lose, we booze is all I say. Um, John, drop all the social medias where the people can listen to the podcast and follow you guys.
Yeah, well, we always put a link for our podcast, which we record on a Monday. We 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 put it on X, and then you can listen to it on Spotify. You can watch it on YouTube, on Facebook. You watch it live on Facebook as we record, and then Amazon, Apple, all the other places where you can listen to podcasts. So yeah, it's going well. Numbers are up on previous previous seasons. So yeah, I just hope that we can continue to do well. Whether or not uh, we get more viewers, listeners after a win or after a defeat, I haven't worked that out yet, but.
Yeah. Yeah.
Certainly after a defeat, there's more. Shall we say, there's more uh, more opinions, more colourful
Yeah.
opinions after a defeat. Definitely.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. If you guys haven't done so, Red Sheffield, Twitter X, Red Sheffield on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. You know the drill. And until the next match day preview, I will leave you with Up the Blades.